Hello, my little mathematicians. Today we are going to explore area of composite shapes. As always, please make sure to show your work on a separate sheet of paper. And if you ever want to try any yourself, pause the video, try it yourself, and then unpause it and join back with us. Okay, the first one is, what shape is that? It's a trapezoid. How you know it's a trapezoid is it's a four-sided figure that's not a parallelogram. Meaning, yes, these two sides are parallel, but if I extend these two sides, they intersect right there. So in order to be a parallelogram, all sides need to be parallel, like this one. These are parallel, and those are parallel. So that's a parallelogram. This one's a trapezoid. So then once you decipher what shape it is, write down the area formula for that specific shape. So a trapezoid is the formula 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times height, or base 1 plus base 2 times height all over 2, whichever way you prefer. Now, your two bases are the sides that are parallel to each other. So the two bases are 20 and 24. And then the height is the vertical distance that separates those two bases. So this separates the one base from the other, so your height is 18. Always double check just to make sure that they're all in the same units, because that's a little trick they sometimes do. And before you can plug numbers in, they all need to be in the same units. Luckily for us, this whole worksheet, it already is, but just something to keep in mind. Okay, so now that I have my formula and I plugged in what I know, I do parentheses first. 20 plus 24 is 48. And then half of 48 is 24. So now you just have 24 times 18. Go ahead and plug that into your calculator, and you get 396 inches or inches squared. Well, it's area, so inches squared. All right, and that was number one. Number two, as we already said, is a parallelogram. And what's the area formula for a parallelogram? Base times height. So look for that little box. It connects your height to your base, which doesn't seem like a big deal here because there's only two numbers. But if there was other numbers around here, it would make a difference. Okay, so your base is 8 and your height is 16. Go ahead and plug those numbers in, and you get 8 times 16, which is 128 feet squared. Okay, number 3. This time, you have a decision to make. Should I split it here and then add this plus this? Should I split it here and add this plus this? Or should I do the whole thing and then subtract the area of that little square? There's no right or wrong way. So I'll decide to split it here. Now, if you did it some other way, why don't you pause the video and let's see if we get the same answer. Okay, so since I split it there, this rectangle right here has a base of 10 and a height of 20. So base times height is 10 times 20. I'm going to add that to the other rectangle that looked like that. It had a height of 8, but the base is not 30, because 30 is the whole thing from here to here, right? And from here to here is already 10, so that means 10 plus what is that remaining 30? Well, 20. So this is 8 by 20. So base times height is 20 times 8. 20 times 8 is 160, plus 10 times 20 is 200. So when you add those together, you get 360, and it's meters squared. All right, number 4, you also have some decisions to make. Do you want to split it like there and add this one, this tall one, and this one? I'm going to split it here and here. Okay, so this guy up at the top, let's see here. That's not part of the shape, but that is. Okay, so it has a height of 2, and that base is the whole thing of 8. Okay, plus that middle square. Those are solid. These are not. So, okay. if this whole thing is 8, that means this whole thing is 8. So 6 plus what is 8? 2. Clearly, this is not drawn to scale. Okay, so that's 2. And then this whole thing is 8. But from here to here is 2, and from here to here is 2. So 2 and 2 make 4, which means 8 plus 4 plus what is this remaining piece? So that must be 4. Okay, and then finally we have the bottom one. Okay, it was nice. It told us this is all 9. And from here to here, this is 2. So 9 by 2. These are all parallelograms, so they all have the formula of base times height. So you have 8 times 2, 2 times 4, and 9 times 2. Go ahead and combine those. You get 16 plus 8 plus 18. Now add all those into your calculator. Okay, 16 plus 8 plus 18, you should get 42, and it's feet squared. All right, that was number 4. Let's go ahead and look at number 5. Number 5 says, I could split it here, or I can split it here. It's a matter of preference, either one. Or, I could even do this whole big box of 12 plus 10 is 22 by 20, and then subtract this little one. Again, whichever way you decide, why don't you pause the video and then come back and join us. Okay, I cut it here, but we should still get the same answer no matter how you decided to do it. Okay, as I said, I need to know this length right here. And so it's 12 plus that 10, which is 22. So this guy on top, you have 22 by 7 plus that bottom one. Okay, this is 12. That's given. But I need to figure out this part because the whole thing is 20. From here to here is 7. So 7 plus what is 20? That means this remaining part is 13. So this is 13 by 12. Okay, they're both rectangles, so base times height for your formula. And it's 22 times 7 plus 12 times 13. So 22 times 7, you should get 154. And 12 times 13, you should get 156. Then add those two together, and you get 310. And it was inches squared. Okay, last one. Obviously, the easiest one for this one, I hope you see it, is to cut it here, and you have a rectangle and a triangle. So I'm going to fit that one in here on my paper. So number 6 is this rectangle plus that triangle. Okay, so I know for the triangle, I'm going to need to know base times height divided by 2, and this is just base times height. So they told me the height was 15, and they actually told me that this from here to here is 22. Okay, so I have that. But then they told me that this whole distance, like look, from here to here is 40. So that means 22 plus what is 40? That will give me this height right here. So go ahead and type in 40 minus 22, and you should get 18 for that height right there. Okay, now I also need to know this base length. I know that this is 6 and this is 6, but then I need to know this remaining part. Well, this remaining part is the same as this, so 15. So you have 6 and 6 is 12. 12 plus 15 is what? What's my total base length of my triangle? It's 27. Okay, so now you have base of 27 times height of 18, all divided by 2 for the triangle, and 22 times 15 for my rectangle. Well, 22 times 15 let's see here. You get 22 times 15, 330 plus 27 times 18 divided by 2. You should get 243. Go ahead and add those two together, and you get 573, and it was in centimeters, so centimeters squared. All right, if you got all those correct, great job. If not, we have a few more composite figures. Why don't you try some of those in the packet for extra practice? Okay, but remember, break it apart into its smaller parts, write down the area formula for that specific shape, plug in what you know, and then solve. You got this.